University of Ibadan. And I also happen to be the general coordinator for Institutes of Scholars Educational Consultancy. And I am one of the organizers of this particular orientation. So, like you guys have, you already know that we've done uh, an orientation session before. This is like our second orientation session. So this one is just to complement what we did earlier and to also mention some parts that we might not have mentioned earlier, and also to more like summarize for those that were not able to attend the first session. So basically, is an orientation that has to do with ICAN and ATS programs, and I believe everybody is very familiar with what ICAN and ATS. That's why we are here in the first place. That's why we register, because we know about this program, and in one way or the other, we are looking to have something to do with the programs. Is either we are trying to do the exams, we are trying to become accountants or something like that. So that's why we would be here in the first place. All right, so basically, I'm not going to be the main speaker for today, of course. So we are going to be having two of our speakers talk to us to mention some things about the programs. But before we do that, just to introduce what the program is all about. Anyways, next slide, please. All right, so just to introduce what the program is all about. So as it is written there, it says Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. That is basically what ICANN is all about. And it's the organization that regulates the accounting profession in Nigeria. So basically, when you do the exams, you become an ICANN member. Basically, when you do the exam and you pass it, you become an ICANN member. So that means you become a chartered accountant. That's basically what that one is for. And for ICANN, I'm just giving like a brief overview. They are still going to be talking more about these things. So for ICANN, there are like three levels in ICANN. So you have the first level exams that you take. When you pass it, then you move on to the second level exams. You also do that, then move on to the third level. Then when you finish the three, then you become a chartered accountant. So we also have the same thing with ATS. So the full acronym for ATS is actually ATSWA. ATSWA. So is Accounting Technician Scheme of West Africa. So basically, that one is we can call it a mid-level chartered accountant. So when you do ATS is like lower level of ICANN. Let me put it that way. So when you do ATS and you pass all the papers, so you become an accounting technician, meaning that you can do majorly the routine works of accountants, basically. So that's basically what you can do. You are not like a full-fledged accounting. What do we call it now? Chartered accountant, yeah. But you are like an accounting technician. Okay, okay. Let me just put that to basically just differentiate between the two. What it means to be a chartered accountant and what it means to be an accounting technician. As a chartered accountant, that is when you do ICANN and pass all the levels, you become a chartered accountant. Yes. So you basically do high level financial reporting, auditing, taxation, management, accounting, financial analysis, and advisory roles. You get, so it's like you would find yourself at the center of finance and accounting. So you basically can do financial analysis, you can perform advisory. In fact, you can perform high level. You can be in charge of high level consulting offices. Let's put it that way. There's also the management accounting aspect. You can do auditing, you can do taxation. So it's a very flexible field when you are a chartered accountant. But for accounting technician, that's like the lower level one. So this one basically, this is where you get to undo basic for like I mean the roles you can take up with this certification. You get to undo basic bookkeeping, payroll, bank reconciliation, accounts payable, receivable, data entry, and the likes. You get, so it's like the lower level part of that. So we do have people do ATS, that is the accounting technician scheme. Then after that, they proceed to do the ICANN. You get, so we do is the same organization that manages the two. So when you are moving from ATS to ICANN, so each of the programs have three levels. Yeah, they have three levels. Each of it. One has ATS has part one, part two, part three. Then ICANN has level one, level two, level three, which are the foundational level, skill level, and the professional level. So basically, when you do 8 years and pass all the papers, all the three parts, all the three levels, let me put it that way. When you do that and you want to move on to become a chartered accountant, that is, you want to up your game. So you don't get to do the first level of ICANN, which is the what's it called now, which is the foundational level. You skip it because basically what you've done in 8 years is what you have as the foundational level of ICANN. Okay, so that's how the two interact. And the unique thing about 8 years is that you do not need to have a degree before you can do 8 years. If the only thing you need for your ATS is your O level results, and you are good. But for ICAN, you would need additional qualification, of course, probably your BSc. Yeah, but for ATS, you just need O level results. So it's easier to actually register for the ATS, do the ATS, then use the result of ATS to produce to ICAN, to proceed to ICAN. That's basically what most people do. All right, so to hand over to our speakers, not to waste our time, I've given like an overview of what these things are all about. I'm going to be I'm going to be calling Hawa Hakim. So she's going to be taking us through the the rigor of ATS, what ATS is all about, just to summarize what we discussed in the last class, and also give us some additional tips from her hand that she has prepared for us. Uh, Hawa Hakim, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear
All
me?
right, then. So yeah, we can hear you. So you have the floor now.
Okay. Thank you for having me again. Good evening, everyone. My name is Akim Awa, and I graduated from the University of Ibadan where I studied economics. And in between, like I said, for those that joined us last week, I think Sunday, I am taking my ATS exam. Or should I say, I started taking my ATS exam. Yeah. So just like Akim already said, ATS is like from ATSWA, ATSWA, Accounting Technician Scheme of West Africa. So there are three levels: ATS 1, ATS 2, and ATS 3, right? And what you need to start your ATS level is your WIAC results. You need to pass, I think, math and English and any other three, maybe accounting and that. I can't remember because I started mine in 2022. That's like 3 years ago. So three levels, like I said, and those three levels, if you pass each stage at once, you can pass those three levels in 1.5 years. What do I mean? The exam. Are you with me? Okay, I hope others can hear me. I can see that Akim
Yeah,
drop a thumbs up. Okay, thank you very much, Etron. Thank you, everyone. So, 1.5 years you can pass the exam. And what do I mean? The exam takes place twice in a year, March and September. They call it March diet and September diet. So, and it takes place on the last Tuesday and Wednesday in those months. So last Tuesday and Wednesday in March, last Tuesday and Wednesday in September. So if you want to prepare now, you already know the date your exam will fall on, right? So, and if it's in Ibadan, you are writing it at Jogo Center. But yeah. So let's assume this year has already ended. We've written our September exam already. So let's assume you just want to start and you want to start next year now, for example. Yeah. So I said the exam is twice in a year, right? March and September. So for next year now, you will start your tutorial in November. Yes, because if you write like we now, I wrote an exam in September. Our result will come out probably end of this month. So once result comes out, tutorial starts the following month for those that probably failed the last diet and those that want to start. Do you get? So let's assume you want to start in March next year now, 2026. So you start your tutorial in November, right? And you prepare till March and you write your exam ATS 1. And ATS 1, we have 4 papers: basic accounting processes and systems, which you call BACS, communication skills, business law, and economics. So you take the 2 papers per day, right? Yeah. So for Tuesday now, you write BACS and business law, and the second day you write economics, then com skills. Yes, that's how it is. So, and you pass the 4. You see your results in April. It's a month. In a month's time, you see your results. So you see your results in April and you pass the 4 papers. Good. You are good to go. You move to ATS 2. So in ATS 2, that means you write September diet. that same next year, 2026, since you've passed in March your ATS 1. So let's say in September 2026, you wrote ATS 2. ATS 2 also has 4 papers: financial accounting, IT, that's information technology, just like computer. What's the next one? Public sector accounting, then QA, quantitative analysis. So that's how it is. So you took the 4 papers in September, last Tuesday and Wednesday, you sat for it and you passed. I mean, you are done with 2 stages, right? In a year. Remaining half year, right? I said the three stages, you can pass it in 1.5 years. And in 2027, right, March, you wrote your ATS 3. There are also 4 papers. Principles of auditing and assurance, that's audit, management, cost accounting, and taxation. You passed it. You wrote it in March 2027 and you passed it. That means you become an AAT. By June or July, you go to Lagos, you shake the hand of the president of ICAN, or what did they call him? You become an AAT, right? So 1.5 years, you are done with those 3 stages. But peradventure you do not pass. See, if you do not pass, it's nothing. It's a professional exam. The exam I wrote now in September, a married woman wrote with us. Like, you will see people older than you, like way older than you, they are writing it. It's no big deal. It's a professional exam, right? It's not your school exam whereby you carry over and you're crying and no. You fail, you pick it up again and you pass it. It's a normal thing. It's a professional exam. It's not hard, but if you don't follow if you don't attend tutorials and you don't read and you don't cover at least part of your syllabus, you might not pass it. And the exam is easy, right? It's in 2 parts, section A and section B. Section A has 2 parts. The first part is OBJ, which is 1 to 30, objective, right? A, B, C, D, or maybe it's A, maybe it's B, right? And the other part is short answer, whereby they ask you something is equals to dash. You'll be the one to pick the answer. So if you don't know it, you don't know it. Then the section B is theory. You have 6 questions. You'll be told to answer 4. Are we following?
Yes, ma. We're following you, ma.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me continue. So it is advisable that you really put in energy. Once that you start attending tutorial, make sure you get your insights. Insight is what they call the past question. Insights. Make sure you get it. Even if you don't buy the pack, because the pack is expensive, just download it. But your insights, make sure you buy it, right? And start practicing any topic you've done in class. Check it in past question and start practicing. It really helps. So it is advisable at ATS level that you really put in energy in your OBJ and short answer, because the exam overall is over 100. Your OBJ is 30, your short answer is 20, that's 50, and your theory is 6. I said you answer 4. So those 4 questions is 50 marks. That's 12.5 marks per 1 question. So if you put in energy in your OBJ and short answer, say OBJ you had 20 over 30, let's say, and in your short answer, let's say you had 10, let's just, that's 30. It's not bad that you have like 20 in your theory, or let's say in your OBJ you had 20, like I said, and in your short answer you had 15 over 20, that's 35. If you attend tutorial and you read, come on, you'll be able to get at least 15 in your theory to make 50. I'm not saying you should target 50, aim high, so that even if you fall, do you get, you still at least meet something, do you get? So, but I'm just saying that putting more energy in I'm not saying you should not read for theory, I'm just saying that solve your OBJ and short answer very well. It helps. It's let me put it in Yoruba that way, if you understand. Is there anyone that does not understand Yoruba? Raise your hand, let me see. Nobody? Okay, very good. Let's continue. I guess we all understand Yoruba. So what else do I want to say? So that is it. I think that is what I can remember for now. I don't know. So I'll be sharing my story, my own how do I put it? My own experience, or how do I put it? So I started in 2020, right? We were on strike, 8-month strike then, and I was at home and I actually wanted to study accounting, but as at then 2019 when I wrote my JAMB and post-it, there was no accounting in UI, so I had to, and I must go to UI, so I had to pick economics, but I was told I would, write ICAN. So when I was about to enter 200 everyone, ASU was like, hello guys, go home. I couldn't just sit at home. I had to, start the ICAN. So I started my tutorial in May 2022. I was going for tutorial, and the tutorial is weekends, right? So I was going for tutorial. Weekdays I'll be at home reading, and I'll be chilling. And I was in tutorial till September. We were about to write exam, and end of September, last Tuesday and Wednesday, 27, 28. Yeah, I guess I wrote my exam. Funny enough, 27 was my birthday. I wrote exam on my birthday. So I did the exam. The first day I wrote basic accounting processes and systems. I wrote what was the next one? Business law, which I love so much because I've never done a course like that, but it was very interesting. You really, really enjoy it. It's like law, but it's still simple. I wrote it. The second day, Wednesday, I went again. I wrote economics. That was easy because I was studying economics and I've been doing it since secondary school. And I wrote com skills. Com skills is like English, but there's more to it, right? So you really need to pay attention. If I pay attention to all courses, I wrote it, and in October I saw my results. I passed the 4. Thank God. I was supposed to write, that was September 2022, right? So the following year, March, I was supposed to prepare for ATS2, but because of school, we already resumed that time and I couldn't combine it, Jerry, so I stopped. I didn't do it in March 2023. So September 2023, I wrote my exam. Yeah, it was March 20. I'm really good with dates. It was March 26th and 27th. Yeah. So March 26th, Tuesday, I wrote FA and IT good. And the next day, 27th, this was also my birthday. I fell sick, but I still went for the exam. I wrote PSA, Public Sector Accounting and Quantitative Analysis, but I knew I didn't do well. I was not feeling fine. I was even throwing up in the exam already, and I failed those two. Yeah, those two papers. I cried. Yes, I cried. It was painful. But did I give up? I said, no, I will write it again. So I was supposed to write it March last year. That was 2024, but 300 level exam was, I think when we registered the exam, I could not do it. So I wrote it last year, September, and I passed those two. So if you don't pass, if you fail a particular course, you cannot move to the next stage, right? And you will not see your score in ATS level. You don't see your score. You just see pass list, right? So if you open pass list and you type registration number, and those registration, you see a lot of registration number is always scattered. So you have to search very well for your. Can we still hear me?
Yes, ma.
Okay, because my phone was vibrating. The call is coming in, but let's continue. So you won't see your score, like I said. So you just see the pass list. So when you open it, you have to type your registration number. So if you see it there, congratulations to you, you've passed. But if you don't see, you check. You did not see. You just go and check reference list. You will see the courses you failed. So that is that you have to take it, right? So I took it in. Okay, I said I was supposed to take it in March 2024, but I could not. So I took it in September 2024, and I passed. That's ATS2. So this year, March, I was supposed to do ATS3, but I was battling with my final year project and exam. Yeah, so I couldn't. So I took it this September, and I'm waiting for my result. I hope I pass, so I become an AAT. So once I pass this ATS3, I become an AAT. I go for my induction. I shake the hand of the president of ICAN, and I get my AAT certificate, which I can use to work in a firm as maybe I can even use to do internship here as maybe all these assistants, this thing. But at least you will learn. Like it is here now, tax clerk, audit. You can work in audit section. So you are taking this course does not mean you'll be an accountant. You'll be an accountant rather, but there are different areas. There is a tax side, there is consulting, there is audit. There are different areas, so it depends on which one you want to focus on. So yeah, make sure you attend tutorial. make sure you read, make sure you solve the insights, which is also known as the past questions, right? And another thing to note is that you pay subscription fee with your exam is an annual fee. So let's say you miss this year. Let's say you miss this year. You've registered before. You miss this year. You miss next year. You miss another year. Hello, my dear. Your subscription is increasing. And if you don't pay that subscription, you'll not be able to register for exam. So take note. If you want to know, you want to take a break. Remember that you have a lot of money you are going to pay. Your subscription fee keeps piling up. So I guess that is all I have to say. I don't know if there are questions, but that is all I can remember or I know for now. Right? Yeah. Is Akim still on the call so that he can take over?
Yeah, I am on the call. Good evening. So I was actually okay. Is there anybody that have any question for her? Is there anybody that have any question at all? Any question for her as regard it here? So it might be something that she said that you would want more explanation on, or probably another thing that as regard it is. If you have any question at all, please let us know.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'll answer your questions or you are shy. Ask questions, please. That's one
Okay.
of the things you have to do. If you don't understand anything, ask questions in
I have
class.
a question, ma.
Okay, Adetunji.
Yes, thank you so much for the presentation, ma. Yes, I want to ask, you said for the ATX level that the requirement is basically O level result. So I want to ask, as a science student, can I use my O normal usual level result, or do I need to write another exam that has this commercial subject? That's what I want to ask.
Okay, that's a very good question. Yeah, I remember when I started 8 years then, so I have students from science. It was not you don't have to be in commercial class to write it as long as you have interest in taking. It's a professional course. Anybody can come and write it, even art class. So I think they specified like math and English. I don't think there is any specification in all those stuffs in accounting, or I don't think so. Yeah, I just remember that I had some of my colleagues in science class. So I think once you pass math and English, credits passing math and English, yeah, that's what they said. You are good to go. You are good to go. So it doesn't matter if you're a science or arts or yeah.
Oh, okay,
Have
ma.
I
Thank you.
answered your question?
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
All right, so I believe that's the only question anyone has. So we are going to thank you very much, Hawa. Thank you very much uh for the orientation from the for the lecture. All right, so we are going to be having the second
You're
speaker, which is our
welcome.
last speaker.
Thank you for
Yeah. Uh, so we are going to be having our next speaker talk about ICAN. He's going to be taking us through the necessary information we are supposed to have as regard ICANN. Is the second speaker with us now?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Good evening. Yeah, good evening.
All right. Good evening. I hope we all had a great day over there. I hope we all had a great day. Okay, it's fine. So yeah, my name is Aidi Jilawa, and I think we held the first day. Was it last week Sunday? I think that was the first orientation that we had. So actually, the first speaker has just spoke well, and I can really commend the way she spoke. She really spoke very well. Well done. And what I will just say briefly is just that I will just try to add to what she has said. And before that, let me just do a little bit intro of myself again, like I did the other day. So now, I'm Adeji by name. Like she said, let me pick from the last thing she said earlier. She said, anybody can do I can, as far that you have the determination that you want to write the exam, and also you are focused. Yes, you have that focus in you that okay, I want to do this and I'll attain this no matter what it is. Yes, I was not an accounting student when I started ICAN. I studied anthropology at Sobafem Awolowo University. So that's a pure evidence that you can actually be a chartered accountant without even having any accounting background. So throughout my days in undergraduate, I never did anything related to accounting. And yes, I'm qualified today by God's grace. So what I will just say before I start my presentation is that whatever you want to attain in life, make sure you have a goal. Make sure you set a goal and also plan towards that goal. Because if you are not planning towards that goal, there's no way you can be able to attain. And always pray as well, because prayer gives direction to wherever you are going in life. And so as in terms of exams and the likes. So I would just encourage everyone, always pray so that it will give you direction and other things will follow as well. So now let me delve into what we're here for today. So now I'm talking generally about Institute of Chartered Accountant of Nigeria, and I will say briefly of the intro. Now, when we talk about the Institute of Chartered Accountant of Nigeria, you're saying that this institute was established by Act of Parliament in 1965, right? And to be a chartered accountant has different, pathways, roadmap. And before that, our first speaker was explaining that we have one of the ways that you can be a chartered accountant is 8 years, and that was what she spoke on. And we have different other ways that we can actually be a chartered accountant. 8 years we have the if you have your BSc in accounting or other disciplines, or even have other certifications, maybe like most have heard about CITN, maybe CIBN, Chartered in Bankers in Nigeria, CIPM, Chartered in Personnel Management. Once you have all those qualifications, you can also write ICAN. So those are the different ways. Now, before you even talk about that, what are the career path that you are looking up to? That okay, if what I want to do ICAN, okay, what can I do in practice? Yeah, what can I do in practice? Because we are all talking about okay, in theory. What about in practice? Because trust me, what we all know in theory is different from practical. Yes, it is. Though you must have learned the substantial part of it in theory, but the way you make it in practice will be different. For example, now, for all chartered accountants, most of them have it in mind to be an auditor. Some have it in mind to be a tax consultant. Some people want to even be a lecturer. Yeah, like tutors, just to encourage students that okay, you have to do this, you have to do that. And some people have the mind of being a CFO, that's Chief Finance Officer. And what Chief Finance Officer means that you have to have the knowledge of everywhere. Yes. To call someone the finance officer is not a day job. It has different parts. You must have knowledge in finance, in accounting, in everywhere, in auditing. When we talk about career path, it takes a whole determination that okay, I want to become this, I want to become that. And one of it is that having a certification, having a professional certification like ICAN will help you a lot. It will really help you. And also, even if you have not even qualified, we have some career path as an 8 years courses. Can be an accountant in a firm, can be an account clerk in a firm. even with your AAT. So those are the career path that can, that can help you that, okay, for me to be a qualified chartered accountant or to be an accounting technician, okay, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to be an auditor. I'm looking forward to be a tax consultant. I'm looking forward to be a lecturer. I'm looking forward to be a CFO in future, Chief Finance Officer. I'm looking forward to be a financial controller. I'm looking forward to a lot of things. I'm looking forward to be a management accountant. We have different paths, like different career opportunities, different career pathways. But note that a certification is needed and different skills that you must entail as well, right? So now, how do you even want to say that, okay, you want to take an ICAN exam? Now, like the first speaker said, she said 8 years level is always written in March, is always written in September as well. So we all have 8 years 1, 8 years 2, 8 years 3. And like we said in the first orientation, I discussed that even if you don't want to start with your um with your 8 years, you can be done with your degree. Let's say, for example, now you have your BSc in accounting. Please, next slide, please. You have BSc in accounting, and you don't want to start with 8 years stage. You can equally just start straight like that with your ICAN itself. Remember that 8 years is controlled by a body called ABWA. So ICAN is just helping ABWA in Nigeria. How do I put it? Okay, let's say, for example, now if an exam is written in West Africa, we have a body that is controlling that exam. That is ABWA. That is accounting bodies for West Africa. But ICAN is the overall, overseer of it in Nigeria. So 8 years that we are talking about is actually written in West Africa, in West Africa countries. So that's just a route, a pathway, a roadmap by which you can also be a chartered accountant. And also, if you have BS in accounting, yes, you can also start from skills. Now, ICAN has 3 stages. We have the foundation level, we have the skills, and we have the professional. Now, if you have your BSc in accounting, you have something we call the exemption. Yes, there's something we call exemption. Exemption is very, very, very important because it will give you and to grant you that, you will not write some certain exam and some certain papers, but they assume that you must have um did these particular courses during your undergraduate. Excuse me. So it was assumed that must have done it during your undergraduate. So let's say, for example, now you have BS in accounting and you want to start ICAN, but you don't want to pass to 8 years level. Yes, and you know that your school have gotten the accreditation from ICAN. Yes, you can start from skills. You will be exempted from all the papers. Remember, foundations has 4 papers. The first one is management accounting for foundation. The subject in foundation, let me mention it. We have management accounting, we have financial accounting, we have corporate law, and we have business management and finance also. Then in skills, we have six. The first one, we have the financial reporting. Yes, we have performance management. We have financial management. Okay, financial management is just added now. It was not there before. So that's the third one. Then the fourth one, we have what we call public sector accounting and finance. The fifth one, we have audit and assurance. The sixth one, we have taxation. So those are the 6 courses or 6 subjects. Can you all hear me? Hello. So can someone signify if you can hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So we have 6 in skills. So those are the 6 that we have. So now, in terms of professional, which is the last stage, we have 5. Yes. Personally, When I wrote mine, actually, I told you that I was not even in accounting background at all, right? So, when I wrote my skills, trust me, it's good to attend tutorial. It's very good to attend tutorial because um, it will give you a lot of, insight. In terms of ATS level, we call past question insight. But in terms of professional, we call it pathfinder. Please let's note that. So it will give you, tutorial will give you some kind of insight that, oh, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm not supposed to do. This is what I will do. Because it will also give you some kind of, experience of what people have done. And they say that experience is the best teacher. So that time, let me just say a little bit story of what I passed through that time. So that time, when I was doing my skills, right? Before I get to skills now, but let me just see this part first before I go back a little bit. So when I was writing my skills, there was not even money. I used to defy examples, there was no money. Yes, there was no money. At that time, I didn't have money to even attend tutorial. And that's why I didn't attend tutorial. It's not because of it, because there was no money. I was like, how do I do it? How do I do it? How would I do it? I don't even know. Because there's no money to even attend to. Talkers of saying that I want to get money for exam. Talkers of that I want to get money for exemption. I just, put all hopes on God. And that time, I was still in school. I was one of the faculty in school. Yes. You know how stressful that it is. I was a class rep for my class. I was also I was part of one of the schools in church, in fellowship in church. So it was so stressful then. And few days to the exam for skills, I had an accident. My left hand got broken. Imagine, all those things that I passed through, and I still wrote the exam doing that skills. And by the time the result came out in December, I was able to pass university. You know, there's something that I did that time. I make sure that I was reading every day before that time. I was like, there was even one day that I had to, I went for an event. I was very tired, right? I had to read that day. And that's one of the things that I knew that, okay, I have this determination. You have to determine that no matter what, you will attain this. So that's what I want you to also have in mind today. If you want to start, you must be determined that, yes, I will achieve this. Nothing is stopping me. Nothing will ever stop me to say that, okay, I want to stop for 1 second. No, even if you fail, write it again. Yes, failure means nothing. If you used to check, if you are the kind of person that have my contact, you see my status that I used to emphasize that failure is nothing. Everybody has failed before, so don't ever be, don't. Yes, that I will learn from it, and what's that about? A little bit to your mind. Now we have 5 subjects in professional. Yes, the 5 tick one. Yes, that's the last place. So yes, that's the tick. When I held my finals, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. To be candid, it wasn't easy. Yeah, these 5 papers are strategic business reporting. The second one is please can you share the next slide? The person that is sharing the screen for the next slide, please share it. Thank you. Not this part, just share the foundation type, skills, and professional. So your professional side is 5 subjects. Yes, we have the strategic business reporting. Yes, recently it was when we got our own. It was corporate reporting. Yes, they call it corporate reporting that time. Call it corporate reporting. But now, based on how the world has evolved so far, they've added some standard there. So they have to change. I can't have to change their syllabus. We must have heard that I can't change their syllabus this year, right? They changed their syllabus for both ATS and professional level this year. So they changed corporate reporting to strategic business reporting. So it's now strategic business reporting now. Then we have the next one. We have strategic financial management. Now, the reason why they put financial management in skills is that they notice that people are used to feel a lot in that strategic financial management. Yes, but once they've had the pre-knowledge about it in skills level, I mentioned financial management as one of the subjects in skills. So once they have the knowledge about it in skill level, then the strategic financial management professional should not meet them in a bad way. They would have a knowledge about it, just like a learning curve. Once you know something, you spend lesser time on it. I'm not sure if you have an accounting student here, if you have done something we call learning curve. So they must have know more about it, and by the time they read the professional, it will just be easy for them. So now that's the second strategic financial management. Now the third one, we call it advanced taxation. That one, we have taxation in skills, so the advanced one. So the fourth one, we have the advanced audit and assurance and forensic. Now that forensic was just added. Sorry, I didn't add forensic in skills. So it is audit and assurance and forensic. It is not just audit and assurance, but in professional level, it is advanced audit, assurance, and forensic. So that is very, very important. Now, that's the fourth one. Now, the fifth one, which is very, very technical, and most students are, they used to find it hard because it is not something you have to read, prepare for. You don't have material for it. There's no material for this last paper. There's no even past question for it. So it is called case study. Yes. And when I did my own, I actually used a week to prepare for it. Though some people use months, some people use 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but I use a week to prepare for it. Now, this case study is very, 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 very technical. Not technical, not too much technical. If you are good at reporting, what I mean by reporting is that if you are good at analyzing, can you all hear me? So I'll not just be thinking that it's going slow. Can you hear me? Can someone signify if you can hear me?
So we can hear you.
All right. So this case study is kind of technical in the sense that you have to have that reporting skill. You have to have that reporting skill. But if you have a good tutor and a good mentor and a good coach, you can be able to, ace it at once. So the structure of the exam is different from other paper, even from your 8 years. It is different. It is different. It is different. Very, very, very important. Now, please, can you share the next slide? Not this one. All right. All right. All right. Now, the exam fees breakdown is highly very, very important. You have a knowledge of it, right? Now, in terms of, now I told you that ICAN levels are foundation, skills, and professional. Now, for a new student, this is the price. The subscription, I think our first speaker spoke about subscription also, right? I think she spoke about that subscription is saying that as a student, accounting student will testify to you that I can assume that they are non-profit organization, right? So every student is entitled, or every student must pay, rather, not entitled. Every student must pay subscription because they believe that ICANN is non-profit organization. So you remember our subscription account that we used to open in our receipt and payment in order all these non-profit organization that used to open for the account. If you're an accounting student, you understand what I mean by that. So what they pay is a due. The due is subscription. So they assume that every student and member must pay what we call subscription annually. That means every year. That means if you want to write the exam this year like this, you must pay your subscription before you even register for exam. Or before you even register as this. Or if you want to register for any paper, you have to pay for your subscription. So until next year again. So let's say, for example, now you want to write exam May. That's for ICAN. ICAN is always May and November, unlike 8 years, like it's March and September. ICAN, the next one is coming by November now. So ICAN exam always come up by May and November. So let's, for example, now you want to write for November, you have to pay the subscription for this year before you even register for exam. So the registration as a new student first, you have something we call registration as a new student. Consult iOS consultants for that. And also, examination fee too is different. It is Sorry. Okay, thank you. As, examination fees are also very, very important, and they vary. Yes, we have the one for one paper, we have the one for four paper, depending, because in ATS level, you cannot split your papers. Like, what I mean by split is that, let's for example, now you have four papers to write in your ATS. You must write those four papers. Even if you are not prepared, you must write all those four papers. You cannot split. But in foundation, skills, and professional, you can decide that I want to write one paper. You can decide you want to write two paper. You can decide you want to write three paper. You can decide you want to write four paper. So you can split. Splitting is allowed in foundation, skills, and professional. But in ATS, no, it is not allowable. But in foundation, skills, and professional, it is allowable. So that's why we say that examination fee vary, and it depends on the number of papers. So you can consult RAS consultants for that. Now, exception. This exception part is the most important part. So I want us to take note of it. Now, the exception vary as well. It vary based on, we've taken it from the slide. Okay, it's fine. The exemption vary. I told you that the exemption from BSc in accounting vary from the exemption of other discipline. Also, in that aspect, you can consult RAS consultants for that. So that you will not be you not get the misconception or the misinterpretation. But just have it in mind that exemption for all different kind of qualification that you have varies. For you to have an AAT, it varies. It's different from you having BS in accounting. It's different from you having BS in public admin. It's different from you having LLB, that's law. It's different from you having BS in whatsoever, maybe in anything. Maybe you have BS in other courses, maybe in anthropology, maybe in economics. Their exception is different. So you have to consult RAS consultants for that, for enlightenment about that. Now, the eligibility for ETS is 5 credits. Someone was asking a question earlier that you will like, I'm a study student, then would I just write, we have to write any exam for me to qualify for that? No. Once you have your English and math, that's okay. Then either physics, chemistry. I was a study student, yeah. So it doesn't matter. Once you have English and math, that's all. Once you have credit in English and math, that's all. So that's that about that. And also, in terms of ATS, you can also be exempted if you have your OND in a registered in a school that is that gotten the accreditation from ICAN. Yes, you'll be exempted from TS1 and TS2. So you just write TS3. That's for OND holders. That's for AOND holders, for NCE holders. Now, in terms of exemption, we've said something about it's based on your qualification that is approved by ICAN as well, and ICAN as well. So that's that. So you have to apply for exemption early. Like exemption is different from examination, though. Please don't mix it. And you cannot apply exemption the same time with the examination. No, it has to be done this different ways. And like they said, exemption reduces the number of paper you must write. Yes, to reduce your burden. Yes, like for example, let's take AAT for example for a case study now. AAT will be exempted from all the, imagine if you are exempted from all the papers in foundation, 4 papers in foundation and 2 in skills. Can you share is a great one to reduce the number of papers you have, but you are going to pay for it too. The amount you are paying as an AAT should be close to like 100k, I think so. Yeah, for AAT, the exemption fee should be close to 100k. I can't remember the exact figure, but it's not more than 100,000 naira for AAT. Yes, it's not more than 100,000. I'm not sure, but it's not more than that. It should not be more than that. So those are the core things that you should have in mind concerning ICAN. Then any other thing I've not said. Yes, the exam structure as well. I think I've spoke about the exam structure the first time we had this orientation. I said in terms of foundation has 20 multiple choice question. That is your OBJ. Then the second part has your theory, which you have to answer for, right? So that's 80 marks. 80 marks plus 20, that's 100. So in terms of skills and professional, the first question is compulsory. Can we all hear me? Hello. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So the first question is important in skills and professional. That is your 30 marks, and that's your section A. So section A is compulsory, which is your 30 marks. It's compulsory for both skills and professional. So now in section B, you will have theory questions. Yes, theory questions. 20, you have to pick two. That is 20 marks each. That's 40, right? 40 plus 30, that's 70, right? Now, the section C, we have three questions as well. You have to pick two. That is 15 marks. That is 30, right? That is 100, right? So that makes it 100. So you must always also have this time management. Yes, time management is very, very, very important when it comes to, you can't do that. You may not really understand what I'm saying when you are in your HS level. Time management, you can still know the way you can use your time. But in skills and professional, emphasis on skills and professional, you must know how to manage time. Because the time that require you to finish one paper may be taking longer time, and you may not get more than 20 in that particular question. So you must know the way you must know the way you allocate time. Now, for example, this is what I used to do. I remember when I was writing my PM. Literally, I was writing every minute. I did not stop. I did not stop. And I was unable to even finish questions. Imagine, I did not stop for 1 sec. So you said that, okay, I won't even stop to check time. No, I was writing as I was writing, and I could not even finish. Talking about someone that is writing and thinking, like someone that is thinking and writing. Those such person who must be able to, know the way you use your time. So time management is very, very important. And don't be pressurized. Yes, though wristwatch is not allowed in the exam hall, but you can always ask the invigilator if there's no time in the hall, or if you can't see, because some people use glasses like they can't see. Also, people cannot see. So you can ask the invigilator, please, how many time, so that you're able to know the time you can use. And now, let me talk about case study. Now I say case study is the last paper, is the fifth paper in professional. Now case study is the only paper that has 4 hours. The remaining papers from foundation to skill is 3 hours and 15 minutes of reading time. They put 15 minutes for reading time that you can use 15 minutes to read, but 3 hours is the paper. So 15 minutes is the reading time, but case study is the only paper that is 4 hours. There's a reason why it is 4 hours, because it requires you to think before you write. You think before you write. You just don't write. You just cannot just write that, okay, I'll just write anything. You have to think before you write. And you must always check your time as well. So case study is 4 hours, while other papers are 3 hours and 15 minutes of reading time. Right? So I think those are the important things that you should have in mind. And also, from my experience, I've noticed that students have failed to have someone that will guide them in terms of ICAN. I've noticed this over the years. Please, whatever you are doing, it's not really ICAN. Please have someone that guides you through. Have someone that you are accountable to. The art of being accountable, the art of being serious. Yes. Because if you are saying that I can't be accountable to myself, there are sometimes that you just, I'm just sleep Jerry. But if you have someone that keep your toes, that, you have to do this, you have to do that, yes, you will do it. You don't have choice. So always have someone you're accountable to. And tutorial is very, very important. Tutorial is what has helped so far. Towards that, when I was taking student at OAU, I used to tell my student in advanced audit and assurance class that, please, whatever you are reading, be consistent with your reading. Be consistent with your reading. Because I teach. So I used to tell them in OAU that be consistent with your reading. Especially when it comes to advanced audit and assurance. Some people used to underestimate the cost that, Shibi is written. There's no calculation in advanced audit and assurance. But trust me, you must not alter some concept there. You must give it as it is coming, right? So let me put a stop there for now. So do you have any question before I say the last thing I want to say? Do you have any question? Does anybody have a question so that I can just answer them right now? All right, Jam, you can ask your question.
Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for it. I really appreciate that. Now, my question is based on the exception you mentioned of. So I want to ask that: will paying the exemption fee is it compulsory? How would I put it? I heard that without paying after before you could sit for any exam after you paid for the exemption that you can't pay for the both exemption and the exam at the same time, that you have to pay for the exemption first, then you wait for the next diet before you write the exam you are exempted for. How true is that, sir?
Okay, Jami, thanks for the question. And that question is very, very good for clarification. Now, this what you heard is wrong, actually. That you have to pay for exemption, then this for this diet, the next diet is when you now write exam. No, 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 no. The only thing that I can say towards that is that exemption and examination is different, two different things. Now, let me just say the steps so that you understand what I mean. Now, you will register as a new student, you pay your subscription, then you will apply for exemption. You will pay first for the exemption. After you've paid for the exemption, that's why you can consult IOS consultants. That's very, very important. But let me tell you the steps. These are the steps. The first thing, you register as a student, you pay your subscription, then you pay your exemption. After you've paid for your exemption, you will apply application for exemption. So after like few days, your application must have been approved. And how do you know if your application is approved? You can consult IAS for that. Your application will be approved if your examination status has removed your subject that you pay for the exemption. Like, how do I say? Let's say, for example, now you have EAT, right? And you've already checked, you already know the papers you are exempted for. You now paid for the amount, the 100K, all right? Then it's not that you are paying alone, you are applying. You apply. So once you apply, you now submit. After you submitted, you wait for some day. That's why it's always good to have a tutorial that will guide you for that, so that you know you know go and do nonsense. Now, after you apply, then once it has been approved, then you now register for exam. So that's why they say that exemption must not be done the same time you are doing for you are registering for your exam. So it is not the next diet. It can be done in that diet. It's just that the time frame must be different. You cannot be applying for exemption and also registering for exam. No, you must have done your exemption first, approved. After approved, then you now register for your exam. I hope I answered your question, Jamie.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that.
All right. Is there another question, please?
Yes, sir. I have a question, sir. My question is, you mentioned that if you have a BSc in accounting, you can skip
Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you be audible? I can't hear you.
as BSc in accounting, the person can skip the ACS level. So I want to ask if it is applicable for someone that has BSc in other field that is not related to accounting. So can the person just skip the ACS level and start from the foundation level?
Sorry. I think your network is breaking. I can't really get your question. Can you repeat yourself?
Right. I said, you said can someone who has BSc in other fields is not in accounting
Mm-hmm.
skip the level?
Can I skip
Start from
ATS level?
ATS level and
Okay.
start from the foundation.
Why not? That's what I just said now.
You get my
Yes.
question?
Yeah, I got your question. Yes, you can start from foundation. Depending on the degree that you have. What degree do you have, Adetun?
Like let's say biochemistry,
Biochemistry. Yes, you start from
BSc.
foundation. Yes, you start from foundation. You skip 8 years level. You will start from foundation. Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you get that?
Yes, sir. But is there any requirements?
Yes, the requirements is
For
just
that?
that. Now, the requirements are very, very important. I like the way you are now. What you need is that you need your own level. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, sir.
You need your own level. You need your birth certificates. You need your statement of result and your NYC certification or your call-up letter. But if you don't have your statement of result and NYC call-up letter, you can request for transcripts from your school. So after that one, you need your NIN, your voters card, either of the two, any identification. Then also, you also need your which other one? Okay, if you are married, you need your marriage certification because there will be change of name. So we need that as well. So those are the important ones that you will need actually. Those are the core ones that you need. Do you note all the things that you
All right, sir. So, is it advisable for someone that has no background in accounting to start from that foundation level, even after, even having the after even though I have the BSc in biochemistry, is it advisable to start from that?
Okay, that's a very good question. To my best understanding, my best knowledge, yes, it is still advisable for someone that does that in accounting to start from foundation. But however, there is some students that start from foundation. Why? Because I believe that those people that start from it is level must have had some experience, must have had some knowledge, some
I can't hear you. The thing
foundational.
is breaking. I can't hear you, sir. The thing is breaking. Network
Okay,
is breaking.
can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. Or
I
this
can
you
hear
can
you
hear
now.
me. Okay, I said though to my best understanding, you can start from foundation level, but however, they used to consider students that are born from 8 years because they believe that they must have had enough experience and also the application of AAT, right? But you can still start with foundation. It just depends that you determine that you want to do it. Once you are determined and you have a good tutorial, trust me, you will even know it more than those people that they started from 8 years level. It just depends on you. You have to have that determination in yourself that you must know this thing. And you know it. Have a good guidance, have a good tutorial, and have a good coach, and have a good accounting partner. Trust me, you are good to go.
Okay.
Is that all?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Do anybody have any other question? Anybody? Anyone? Okay. All right. So now, and let me say something, Adetuji. On the question that you asked, I want you to have it in mind that if you want to start ICANN, you must start preparing from now. Yes. And don't allow procrastination to disrupt your plan as well. Have a good coach. That's very, very important. Have someone and always be inquisitive. As an accountant, you have to be inquisitive. You must be willing to know some things that you are not clear about. You are saying something? All right. I thought you were saying something. So you must have that mindset first. If you have that mindset, trust me, the whole process will be smooth for you. So I think I was able to do justice to your questions, and yeah. So now, what do I want to say again? What I will say again is that please, whatever career you want to pursue, make sure you have a professional qualification for it, because the world is going in a way that professional qualification is needed. If you see most of the job roles now, you see that they need professional qualification like ICANN or ACCA. That professional qualification is very, very important. So you must decide now the roadmap you actually want to use to exit. And one of it is ICANN. Please, you must be able to determine now. You must have that determination now that, oh, yes, I will achieve this no matter what. I will really achieve it. I will achieve it. And also, prayer. Prayer is very, very important. Prayer is very, very important. And let me share a little bit story of how I started my 8 years to my professional when I exit to be a qualified chartered accountant. And also have it in mind that whatever you are doing in your theory, you will surely practice it. Yes, I'm currently in an accounting firm, so everything we do in theory is being practicalized. So you must have it in mind, right? So now let me share a little bit story. When I was in my 8 years, let me say particularly when I was in my 8 years too, right? It was really, really a long, disruptive one for me, because that time I was, let me say, I was doing a lot of things that time. Yes, I wanted to be a soldier, right? That was funny, right? I wanted to be a soldier. So that time I traveled to Zaria for a screening for NDA. I'm not sure if anybody know NDA. So that time I was preparing for a lot of things. And I remember when I did my ATS with as well, I was writing my school exam. Even my school exam, it was clashing with ICANN. Guess what? I skipped school exam. I skipped school exam. I skipped school exam because I knew my focus. I knew what I wanted to attend. And how was I able to do it this school exam? Because I was a class rep. I know the way I did the part advisor stuff. I was able to do it. So that one to help me. In your school, make sure you join an activity that will help you in your academics. Because if you don't, a lot of things will just distract you and you don't like it. So you must be focused. You must focus. And that time when I skipped my school exam for it, archaeology is not something that you listen to accounting. Your lecturer will not back you for anything. Just like you saying that you want to go and write an exam that they didn't recognize. If you are in accounting now, they can say that it's ICANN they went to write to. They can, just waive it for you. But in archaeology, you're on your own. So don't let that one limit you. Be a goal setter and be a goal getter. And how do you get a goal? By planning towards it. So that's a little bit story. And I've shared my story for skills, right? I've shared my story that I had as even my professional level. My professional level was something that I didn't even have money to do it. Yes, I also read it on my own. I read it because there was no money for tutorial. Even close to I did the registration late because there was no money. So if you know that you want to write the exam, make sure you start preparing, even if you have not had the money, because God can work in a miraculous way that when it's close to the exam, exam, you just see the money. So don't let the exam be a limitation, and the money be a limitation to you that you not write the exam. Start preparing from now. Start preparing from now. The next one after November is May diet for ICAN. The next one for ATS level is March. You have to start preparing for March diet now. Now, now, now. So that's a little bit I'll share. And I hope um they were able to tell you and enlighten you about other things as well. But this is a little bit of what I can share from my experience. And I think on maybe we have a little bit of orientation on some other day, be able to share some other things as well. So thanks for having me and have a good night's rest. Thank you for having me, everyone. Yeah. Is Mr. Hakim still on the line, or who is the anchor? Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We really appreciate your efforts. So really appreciate, and it's so impactful. So, Mr. Akim, Adepoju Akim, are you here, sir? Okay, I think he's busy or doing some other things. So, all our speakers have explained the most important and core aspects of this professional exam that we know as ICAN. So, let me quickly introduce myself. I am Okola Afis Olajuwon, the CEO of IEOS Institute of Scholars, um, and my very close supporters, which is the general coordinator, which is Mr. Hakim Adepoju. We are we come with an idea to bring out something like this so that people will have full information and orientation about what ICANN and ATS is all about. Then I'll be moving to the next slide so that I'll be moving to the aspect of the registration with iOS. So we are serve as a body or a consultant, a due consult that we can help you to simplify your registration process. If you need any assistance on registration process for both ICANN and ATS, so you can reach out to us. And these are the things that we have for. We host orientation section guiding the new students step by step, like what we are doing currently. Then we are going to provide you support. We are going to support our students with documents, upload payments, and the exemptions application. So in the same realms of doing your registrations or anything, you can reach out to iOS. Then we are going to make that happen for you. Then we anchor tutorials and mentorship at iOS at the same time. So we offer details tutorial covering ICANN and ATS syllabus. Mentorship from chartered accountants for exam sources, like speakers are chartered and they have a license. Sorry. Sorry about that. Then we are performing tracking and process evaluation and comprehensive academic and moral support for all our students. So in short, we are available for registration and tutorial based on ICANN and ATS. So you can reach out to us through our social media or WhatsApp. So thank you for listening. This will be the end of the day 2 orientation. We are still going to have another orientation which is going to be physical. Then we are going to discuss that with you on the WhatsApp platform. Thank you. We really appreciate your presence and your effort for being here. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.